See, in the field of evolutionary biology, the aspect of reproductive isolation is of much significance because this deals with the inhibition of reproduction between the members of two species or between the members of two populations. So, what are the mechanisms which keep members of two species reproductively separated, and that we can understand by going through this topic. So how do species remain reproductively isolated from each other, that we can understand by seeing the different reproductive isolating mechanisms. This aspect could be divided, that is isolating mechanism could be divided into two segments. One deals with geographical isolation and other with reproductive isolation. Sometimes we find that there are several physical barriers like rivers, deserts, mountains, oceans, and these physical barriers keep the members of two different species separated from each other. Means they may be genetically quite similar, but since they remain geographically isolated, they are not capable to mate with each other and produce offspring. And the other one is reproductive isolation, means those members which live sympatrically, that is members of two different species or three different species, if they are having a common phylogenetic origin, then they are and they are being observed to be reproductively isolated. Then what are the mechanisms which actually keep them in such situation, that we can understand by going through reproductive isolation. So uh, what we can see here, that this reproductive isolation can be categorized into two types, that is pre-mating reproductive isolation and post-mating reproductive isolation. Sometimes people also classify it into these two types as pre-zygotic reproductive isolation and post-zygotic reproductive isolation. But here I am considering this one, that is the pre-mating reproductive isolation. And under this, there are, isolating mechanisms like ecological isolation or habitat isolation, then temporal isolation or seasonal isolation, mechanical isolation, behavioral or ethological isolation, and under this post-mating reproductive isolation, the different mechanisms are gametic mortality, zygotic or hybrid mortality, hybrid sterility, and hybrid breakdown. So let me consider these two and its subtypes one by one in much detail. See, under pre-mating reproductive isolation, what we observe that it operates before the mating takes place. So there are several mechanisms which actually operate between the members of two different species, and they are not able to mate with each other and produce offspring. And those factors, as I just enumerated, could be ecological isolation, temporal, mechanical, and behavioral or ethological isolation. So the first one, that is ecological isolation, or that deals with habitat isolation. So two species occur in the same area, means they are sympatric. Members of two species, they are found in the same area, but they are reproductively isolated because they live in two separate habitat, means in the same area there could be differences in the type of habitat, and members of one species prefer to live in one habitat while others live in a different habitat. So since they remained separated uh, in such a way for long time, and they develop genetic variation with each other, so they prefer to live in two separate habitat. And we can also say that when representatives of the populations or species occur in different habitats of the same geographical region, then that becomes ecological isolation. The second one is temporal isolation or seasonal isolation. That is, two species occur in same area, but they are reproductively isolated because they actually get mature to reproduce during two different seasons of the year. So mating season variation is observed between, means this is one example which I must cite. There is a species of a neuron, that is Bufo americanus, and the other one is Bufo fowleri. Both are found in United States, both are found in the same area, but both are crossable, means they could be crossed in the laboratory. We know that they can release their gametes, so external fertilization will be there, and externally in the lab, means through external fertilization in the laboratory, their progeny could be obtained. So Bufo americanus breeds in early summer and Bufo fowleri in late summer. Since they have two different seasons for their reproduction, in the nature, you see reproduction does not occur between the two. Whereas in the laboratory conditions, they could be crossed and their progeny could be obtained. Then the third, mechanism under pre-mating reproductive isolation is mechanical isolation. So structural differences occur in the reproductive structures and thus prevent mating between the species. What we observe that males of a particular species will have uh, a reproductive structure which could properly fit in the reproductive tract of the female of its uh, own species, and that is why you can say that there exists just like lock and key system, and mating between two different species does not occur because the reproductive structures like intromittent organs or claspers differ uh, among the members of two different species. So it operates due to physical non-correspondence of the genitalia, or in case of plants, the floral parts may be showing some morphological variation, and as a result of that, the reproduction between members of two different species get inhibited. Then behavioral or ethological or sexual isolation. This occurs in case of animals. It operates due to weakness or lack of mutual attraction between males and females of different species. And species differ in their mating rituals, courtship behavior, mating songs, etc. We observe that in case of birds, the members of one species they sing a specific kind of song, and uh, males and females are capable to recognize such kind of song. So if there is another species, and its song will definitely be different from the first one. In case of Drosophila also, the courtship songs have been recorded, and if we observe the graphical pattern of such mating, we find variation among the members of different species. So because of behavioral variation, or that is also called as ethological differences or sexual isolation, the reproductive isolation exists among the animals. Then the second one is post-mating reproductive isolation. That is, after mating has occurred, there may not be, development of the individuals, or there could be gametic mortality. The gametes which are released, they may not be compatible to each other. So there could be several reasons. That is gametic mortality, or zygotic or hybrid mortality, then hybrid sterility, and hybrid breakdown. So these are four different ways by which the reproductive isolation is maintained between the species. In case of gametic mortality, the gametes like spermatozoa do not survive in the reproductive tract of alien species. So spermatozoa are pollen grains. They will not be forming pollen tubes of one species are not attracted to the female gametes of the other species. There is one example like Rana perica, which is found in Japan, and the other one is Rana cansinensis. It is found in China. They show some level of gametic isolation, and largely their hybrid males are sterile. Means even if fusion take place, then the male individuals formed they are sterile. So uh, in case of laboratories, these two could be mated, and if means there would not be survival of gametes of the two, but even if some of the gametes survive, fusion takes place, then the male individual formed, they will not be surviving. Then zygotic or hybrid inviability. The hybrid zygotes are not viable, are adaptively inferior as compared to the parental species. Since it operates one generation later, it causes wastage of gametes. So definitely after mating, much gamete gets released, and if the individuals viable individuals are not formed, then there will definitely be loss of much gametes. So the zygote formed are hybrids which are formed, they are inviable, they do not complete their embryonic life, and that is why this is also one of the ways to keep two species reproductively isolated from each other. Next one is hybrid sterility, means the hybrids forms they are sterile. Both sexes may be sterile. In some cases, a single sex may be sterile, or sometimes the hybrids they are not differentiated into particular sex. So interspecific hybrids fail to produce functional gametes, mainly due to genic and chromosomal differences. So hybrids formed are sterile like mules, which are born from the mating between female horse and male donkey. So when the female horse is mated with a male donkey, then mules are formed and they are completely sterile. So there are several cases of hybrid sterility. And finally, hybrid breakdown could be seen. That is, those hybrids which are formed, they may be fertile, but they will not be able to produce large number of progeny in the next generation, or the F2 progeny will not be fertile. So hybrids are weak and not so fertile as their either parents. Sometimes their F2 generation progeny or backcross hybrids are either fully or partially inviable or adaptively inferior. In case of Drosophila bipectinata and Drosophila miller-carteliana, what we observe that if male of one species and female of other species are mated with each other, then in next generation the hybrids are formed, and among those hybrids, male one is always sterile, whereas females are fertile. But these females, when they are backcrossed with either of the parents, means males of either species, then they produce very less progeny, or they are not so efficient in producing progeny. So a number of other examples could be cited explaining reproductive isolation in between the different species of animals as well as plants.